Hi guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Ted. Yay! I mean, every episode like I do, every podcast that I do, it just keeps getting better. I just keep getting more and more comfortable, and the insights and the chats have been really real. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. How are you doing? How's your week been? Mine has been kind of crazy. You know, the usual stuff. I won't keep saying everything that I'm doing on every podcast, but yeah, busy times. But yeah, what's happening today? Today, I have a dear friend, a colleague, a business partner who is going to be talking to us about everything film, everything industry. And this girl, this woman is so talented. If there's anyone that knows how to do different things, that can jump from one thing to another and actually is very good at everything that she does, it is Isioma Osaje. She has a degree in medicine. In case you didn't know, she's a doctor, a qualified doctor. Then decided, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be in film. Actually, she started in radio and then went into film. And I mean, she's been rocking it ever since. So I'm going to read a bit of her bio, guys. Here it is. Isioma Osaje is a Nigerian film and TV producer, writer, and director, serving as showrunner for MTV Sugar Nigeria Season 5 under her company, One Pod Pictures. One Pod. As a producer, her credits include Something Wicked, Far From Home. Have you seen Far From Home? You need to go see Far From Home. Up North, The Setup, and Castle and Castle, which is basically where we started out. Our little cute partnership. Prior to her film career, Isioma built a versatile background spanning fiction and non-fiction, writing, music journalism, radio broadcasting, public relations, and talent management with Agency 106. She holds a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery and has been affiliated with organizations like Hip Hop World, The Headies, Zebra Stripes Network, and Rhythm FM Benin City. Isioma Osaje is a powerhouse in Nollywood. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. We're going to talk. See you soon. Hi, girl.
Hi, darling. Hi.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Me too. I mean,
you know, we've been on this journey. We've been on this journey together for quite some time.
For a while, yeah.
And when I think back, it's been how long? Almost 10 years.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It was like 2016,
yeah, when we met, yes, and then started working together.
Yes.
Castle and Castle.
Castle and Castle.
People are still looking for season 3.
Amen. One
Every
day.
message, when is I'm like, hey, guys.
It's coming. But you know what? I'll tell you guys a story. So before Isioma and I started working together, she was talent managing.
Oh, yeah.
So she used to manage Adesua, some Kele. Did you ever manage?
No, Adesua Ireti Doyle.
Yes. Managed Addison and Irisi Doyle, and we were shooting Wedding Party 2, and we were in Dubai. Okay,
I love this story.
We were in Dubai, and the cast. So Adesua was coming to Dubai to film Wedding Party 2, and Dubai is behind or whatever. It's not the same time zone, Sha. So I remember it was like 3 or 4 a.m. and Isioma is calling me and she's like, "Oh, this is a problem. Can we do this? Adesua's not happy. You know, we need to sort her out. We need to make sure that she's okay. Blah blah blah." I'm like, Isioma, it is 3 a.m. Call me at 8 a.m. You know, I was just like, who is this babe that's calling me at this time? Obviously, she's all for her actors. You know, she's got to do what she's got to do for her, you know, for her clients. So at that time, I was like, who is this chick?
You know, everybody was like, managers, we hate them. But what shall we do? We are in this industry together.
You know, but yeah, cool times. I mean, look at us now, you know.
I know.
So tell us a bit about your journey, because I know, you know, you studied medicine and, you know, you've done different things. So tell us a bit about how you transitioned from medicine to where we are now.
Okay, fair. I'll give the abridged version.
The abridged version. You know, I know the long version. But give us the abridged version. Tell them the abridged version.
Yeah. I mean, so the abridged version is that I was studying medicine, and I knew that when I graduated, I didn't want to be a doctor, right? Something happened in between that. Nothing dramatic, but I just felt that I didn't have the passion that, you know, one should have if you are going to be a doctor. And then I was like, okay, I need to find the thing that I will do. And And I'd read this thing about like ikigai, where it's when you find the thing that is your thing. It's a Japanese philosophy or Korean, one of the above, right? You will know it's your thing because if they wake you up at like 3 a.m., you will do the thing, So I was like, I have to find my thing. So I started literally experimenting with anything I thought I might like. Radio, writing. I'm like, let's do all of it until I find the thing. So I dabbled in radio, PR at some point, etc. But it was until I produced the film that I was like, okay, yes, this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing that I wanted to do. Because I remember producing my first film. Do you know anything about producing? Never. I'm like, but Google says this is what you do. so very hard. I was like, Google, you did not tell me. It was really hard. Yeah. And I remember our last day, because we didn't have that much money, right? It was me and my friends. And our last day, we shot in my friend's office till like early hours of the morning, and we were also exhausted, like how this thing will never do it again, what is happening? And I got home and I slept and I woke up and I was like, I want to do the next one. And I was like, oh, this is the thing. This is finally the thing. And then, so that's how, I started producing, and I reached out to Nas, and let me tell you how I got into Ebony Life. Fun story. I'd done like maybe 2 films for Inkblot at that point, right? And then I saw on Instagram one day that Ebony Life was doing a call for entry for scripted producers. And I said, okay, I want to apply for this thing. And I told Naz that, I'm going to apply to this. And Naz like, it's easier if I just send an email to Emmy. I was like, I love the nepotism. She's going to do this. So Naz reached out to Emmy. And the next thing Emmy calls her like, Isioma, Naz said you are producing and you say you can produce. I'm like, oh, yes, I can do this. She's like, meet me at EVA House, blah, blah. And that's how we met. Literally, she's like, Isioma, this is Temda, this is your man.
You guys are doing this together. And I remember coming up the elevator at EVA House, and we were seeing the office space for Castle and Castle, and my mom was like, okay, you guys are doing this together. I was like, okay, this is Isioma, the manager is Isioma. I said, okay, and it basically we started on this wild ride of producing Castle and Castle together, which was intense and crazy.
But the thing is that it was so seamless. Like, we never had a thing where we had to discuss, okay, you do this or you do that.
Yes,
we
working
just
together
were in sync in such a way that
it was. We worked really, really well together, and it was good fun. And I mean, 10 years later, we started a company together. Still here. We're doing MTV. We did MTV Sugar Nigeria. We're still like looking at some other shows that we're going to do under our company. So I'm excited. So I mean, at that point in time, how old were we? Like in our early 20s.
Early 20s.
We were given this huge task.
Because it was huge.
Yeah.
There were stars on the show. RMD. We had a whole office and everything,
and we were like in charge of everyone.
We are doing this thing.
At the time, I was like, God, these guys think we're really the bosses here. Okay.
And they think we know what we are doing. I was like, oh, okay.
But it goes to show, like, I guess you learn on the job, right?
You do.
Because...
And do you remember when Heidi told us, you guys can actually, like, take some time off. Like, you both don't need to shop every single night. We're like,
we can do that. But even at that, we were still like, we got to be there.
We're doing it,
So, I mean, being so young and producing, I was just saying that a lot of people just kind of give themselves the title of producer in our space, right?
They do.
And I don't know, I don't think a lot of people really understand the ins and outs of producing. And you are a fantastic producer, and you're very, very detailed.
Thank you.
Yes, and you're very, very detail oriented, very big on efficiency. So what advice would you give to someone who is trying to be a producer right now? Like, okay, I want to produce. I'm not really sure where to start. What kind of skills do I need, to kind of get in the game and, do your thing?
I think a thing that worked for us was while we were producing Castle and Castle, the first season, no one as per Emma or Heidi assumed we knew what we were doing. So they were actively teaching us and mentoring us through, the bigger challenges. And I think that that's what's missing these days is, yes, you have the money and maybe the resources to produce a thing, but you can't substitute that for actually knowing how to do the
experience.
Thing. Like,
yes.
When I made my first film, I knew I was winging it fully. And I said, okay, you know what? I need to learn how to do this properly. Yeah. Let me find a production company that is actually...
Right, that you have structure.
And you can learn, because the thing is, producing is a... there are many skills you need to have to be a great producer, right? The obvious ones being detail-oriented, the obvious one being a process person. You have to love and understand systems, because producing is literally system to the next system to the next system. It's not, we wing too many things, but it's not a thing you should wing.
Yes,
because you have to be able to transfer what it is you know and you learn to the next person. People have to look at a producer's workflow and say, okay, I understand
How
this is what this is, this is
and
what
this is
that
the end
is,
result.
you know.
This is how you get to the end result.
Precisely. So I think if you want to produce, yes, the first step is resources to produce, but you should look to find mentorships or people who have been doing this for a while that can teach you and tell you the steps. And of course, you can make it your own and reinvent how you want to do things, but you have to know what the rules are before you break them. So that's my advice to people. If you want to produce, actually learn how to do it properly. You can now decide for yourself.
I'm not going to do it this way.
Yes, but know what you should do as a producer. There are many things that I expect producers to know, and when they don't know, I'm like, oh, but how did you learn producing? Because film is apprenticeship. You have to learn.
You have to go climb up the ranks.
And then get better at it.
Yeah, because, I find, maybe you have someone that started off as a PM or even a PA, right? And they somehow land a producing gig. You still, even though you've been given this huge opportunity to like jump from one place to another, you still have to find someone that is going to kind of mentor you through that process, because it's such a huge responsibility.
Even someone caring enough to tell you guys can actually take breaks, because they can see you are ragged, you are exhausted, but they're like, you can take a break at all. Because the thing is, if you are a PA or you're a PM or you're a junior in the production cadre, you don't actually know what producing is, because you haven't done it. So you don't know what you don't know. So just jumping to the very top of the food chain without knowing, okay, now as a producer, these are the things I should know, is detrimental. Of course, if you start shooting, you will finish the thing by hook or by crook.
Somehow.
The experience will be more tedious than joyful.
So tedious and so hard, because filmmaking is already like quite a hard process. And I say the people that love to make film, especially in Nigeria, they don't love it because they want to make money. They love it because they are passionate about it. So yeah, there's that. So now, and you're also a great AD.
Yes.
I pulled Isioma back into the AD world on Blood Sisters too, guys.
I occasionally dabble in AD.
And I think one thing I've noticed with you is, whether it's with producing, with whatever it is that you do it very well. So again, being an AD, we don't have many female ADs.
We don't.
In these parts.
Like
first ADs, right? You have kind of second and third, but not many first. So again, why is this? Why do you think that there's this problem?
So I think you find more Nigerian women or females generally in Nollywood at the producing cadre than you find in things like AD. And I think because it's a role that is very intense on a day-to-day basis, and you are literally on set. So I think that's why it's very hard. Literally, to be a good AD, it's a very hard
job.
It's a very hard job to be very frank. So even those who are, I think, men, it's not really a thing that anybody really wants to do unless they're really passionate about it. But I think that because women tend to be very detail-oriented, I think that it's a position that women will thrive in. Right?
I agree.
I think that literally a lot more women should look at aiding in Nollywood, because you innately have the skill sets to thrive in that. It's literally ensuring that the day goes as it should. It's planning, and these are things that women are constantly planning things on us, planning meals for families. Nobody's like, you don't realize you are planning people's entire lives. And aiding is a thing that process orientation that women have. I think it will be excellent. So I think it might be, it's starting to get better, because I think I'm seeing a lot more second and third ADs now. Yeah. And if they learn what they should make the jump to first AD. But I do think a lot more women should look to that. I know women like editing, producing. Yeah. Look to first ADing too. Yeah. I think it would be great.
I think so too. So because a lot of, you want to direct or you want to write, like, of course, if that's what you're passionate about.
More money, you see this directing something. At most, you will direct maybe 3 films in a year if you are that prolific.
But ADing, you will have back-to-back jobs.
You will be working.
If you're trying to figure out, what should I do? Oh, I like filming. I'm not really sure what to do. Consider ADing.
Yep.
But do you think that, what has your experience been ADing, even producing as a young woman in Nollywood? Okay.
So we can't pretend that there isn't a gender bias that codes everything that we do, right? And you can pretending it doesn't exist is not the way. So when I first got into the industry, especially, I mean, because producing, you're everybody's boss. So whether or not people like the fact that you are their boss, they will have to, but with aiding, it's not, people are not automatically going to respect you because you're not paying anybody's salary, right? But you still have to get people to do what you want.
Yeah.
So I found myself having to find ways to motivate people, to have them understand that we're on the same team. So I'll give a quick example. Like early on in my aiding career, there was a gaffer I was working with for the very first time. And we had production meetings before then, and he wasn't a smiler.
Okay.
Because at these production meetings, the people had cracked jokes. Everyone was kind of friendly, but this guy would, like, I was like, wow, this guy doesn't, And I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure in his head, he's like, who is this riffraff that they've said is the first AD? Because he was also like, an experienced gaffer, right? Yeah. And then, the first day on set, the first scene, so I asked him, okay, because DOP has said what he needs him to do. So I asked him, okay, how long will it take? And he tells me 2 hours. And I'm like, obviously, like, I have been doing this for a minute. It cannot take you 2 hours. But I was like, wow, this is quite aggressive of this fellow to say 2 hours. I'm like, okay, it's fine, no problem. So he finishes lighting. It doesn't take 2 hours, but it takes a fair bit of time. And he comes on set and he says he's done. I'm like, everybody, let's give a round of applause to the talented, And I make everybody clap for him. And he's shocked. He's like, what is happening? Why is she pleased by the fact that it took so long? And everybody, cheers him. The next thing I say, how long will it take? Okay, this time it goes down to, okay, 1 hour. I'm like, that's still too long, but no problem. He lights. Again, I'm like, everybody clap. And the guy, I could literally see his brain spinning, like, what is happening? What level
I
of...
don't even know if this is reverse psychology.
I knew I was gaming this guy. By the third scene, I say, how long will it take? It's like 20 minutes.
Thank
you. So it literally took, because I realized the thing about him was, rightfully so, he felt I hadn't earned his trust or his respect, right? And he knew that I saw that. I could have played it very, you must respect me because we can. But I decided, you know what, you are not a smiler, so there's a deeper issue here. Maybe you don't get celebrated enough, so you are angry at the world, but it's not me you will be angry at because we need to shoot.
Because we need to shoot and we need to finish.
And I realized, but everybody cheering him, like the guy was like, okay, I'm quite a, and I kept that on for at least the first half of the production.
Wow.
And so he got, by the time we ended, he had let the hair purposely braid his hair. I was like, what is happening? He had become a much friendlier guy. So the thing is, there are gender biases, but I think everybody should approach each person as a human being. When you realize the problem, think about a clever way to solve it that they won't see coming. Because I'm the saying, oh, I'm the first lady, you should, it's pointless. It will just make people defensive and go back there. But I knew that I had to earn his respect and his trust. And once you do that, it was easier. And so I devised different versions of that with initially difficult crew members that have never heard of me, because if I'm aiding something and I know that, okay, I've never worked with these people in that capacity, I don't expect you to immediately recognize my strengths, right? But because I'm very competent and very detail-oriented, and I know that this job, we will do it to the best of our ability, I know that I will win you over. So it literally will take me a day at most of us actively working together, and then okay, yes, this person knows what they are doing.
Because we're on the same team.
Literally, and the way women can stand out is be competent and just be kind, give people grace, like how I gave the gaffer some grace. Like, yes, he was being, but I was like, you know what, I will give you grace.
I actually learned that from you because I had an experience where I was very horrible to someone on set. And then I think the next set that we worked on, you said, Temidayo, it's okay, you don't need to yell. You can actually just talk calmly to people and you can get your point across. And since then, I found that is a lot more effective than shouting. Because with shouting, yes, people get defensive, people get upset, they're not going to put their all into it. And, sets can get very, very intense at times. So, you just have to...
I feel if someone is not doing their job well, you should just fire them.
Yes.
Because there is no, I honestly think there is no, but if, okay, we have now agreed that we are all doing our job well and it's little attitude issues here and there you can finesse, but if you're not doing your job well, rather than shouting at everybody,
just let the person go.
You'll be going elsewhere.
As in...
we'll meet in front or not, hopefully.
Oh my gosh. So you've worked with I don't know if I should ask you some of these questions. I mean, you've worked with quite a few.
Is it who are my favorites?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You
You've worked with quite a few stars.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because I mean, you have worked on some of the biggest sets, right?
Oh yeah.
With lots of stars. You've managed some of them. You know, you're very well known and well connected to a lot of people. So who would you say are some of your favorites?
Ooh. Wow. And I realize that as I start naming names, if I don't call your name, it means you need to send me money.
And why? And
and
also why? I mean, yes, why they're your favorites?
Okay, so I mean, obviously, I have to start with the people I've managed, right? So some of my favorite people, and I will put them all in one bracket, is the work ethic. So I'd say Blossom Adesua Genevieve, work ethic, literally. They will come prepared, they will know their lines, they will know everybody's lines, they will be chiming in when they shouldn't. They are that prepared, you know.
Yeah.
So those are some of my favorites. Then for those that I haven't managed, it's probably recency bias.
Okay.
Because I mean, I would say Nancy and Ini, the level of commitment they
them.
brought to
Blood Sisters.
And it was hard because their characters are going through.
Yeah.
And I mean,
a lot.
like actually, as I started this thing, I realized I have a lot of favorites. You know, I mean, RMD is a favorite.
Oh, legend.
Henshaw is a favorite.
Another legend.
Another like professional. She's professional to the core.
They come on time.
Like
you don't play when it comes to
play, like,
RMD or Kate Henshaw.
I said Kate Henshaw. I told her one of the earliest sets that I ever worked on as the producer. You know what I mean? You give somebody a call time now, but we all know this call time is a suggestion. It's not really. We gave her a call time. It was like 8 a.m. or something. She called me at 8 a.m. Said, I'm here.
Hey,
there is nobody. I said, oh, you are here?
You don't play with that. You don't play with that ticket.
I said, oh, I see what is happening. So like I realized, okay, with her, she'll be on time. She's never late. So you know, so if you don't have your stuff together, don't call her too early. So like I enjoy her professionalism.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, I think I really am big on actors, right? Because I think
Isioma is an actor.
Yes, I am.
She's for the actors. Like,
I have a bias for the actors.
If you're having a conversation about actors here, she's always on the actors side.
Unless they're
badly behaved.
I'm like, what did you do? Do you get? So I mean, and thankfully I haven't had like horrible experience. And I mean, even with something like Far From Home where we shot forever, an actor like Mike had to work pretty much every single day, and we saw how exhausting that was for him. But he continued to show up. Like, there's people that, I mean, they just blow you away with their performances. I don't have favorites. I love everybody equally, but you know.
Okay, well we got a few mentions, and she manages Isioma manages Genevieve Omi, who is
unretired from.
Unretired from that. Who is so talented. And I was talking to Genevieve, and I remember on the reel, like she sent me this screenshot of an email that she had reached out to me to be on the reel, but she was in London at the time. And you know, and it makes me think back to like, you know, young actors who are trying to like get themselves out there, and you know, what should I do, or who should I call, or you know, I don't know, as a talent manager, what kind of advice would you give to young actors? Because I think everyone is kind of just looking for a way, you know. And of course, like, I mean, look at how long Genevieve has been. Yeah. It took for her to get in, and literally, like, her foot's in the door, and she's killing it.
And literally, it was until Blood Sisters one that it says the blowout thing that she, you know. I think the first thing is you have to be prepared. You have to get acting training. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and do a 4-year course somewhere, but you have to have some level of acting training. And thankfully now, there are places like Elka that offer you short-term courses. Like, and so in like 3 months, 4 months, you get like, you know, an understanding of yes. Now, whatever you do with that is up to you, but at least you know, okay, when people say I'm an actor, this is what they expect you to be. Now, when you are waiting for your opportunity and it comes and they ask you for your headshot, you can't then not have a headshot. You can't then not have a monologue. You can't just hit up producers and say, I'm an actor, give me work. But where's the proof? So I always say, like, things like monologues, like a headshot, a proper CV should already be in place. And honestly, it is not a 1-year journey.
Yes.
It actually takes time. So that's the first thing you have to tell yourself. You are probably going to spend 5-6 years trying to become an overnight success.
Yeah.
Before you now even have the staying power of the R&Ds of this world.
Yeah.
To first even become an overnight success.
As in,
It takes a long time.
It takes time.
There's no shortcut around it. There's auditions. And now...
And there's rejections.
Literally. And now, thankfully, there's social media. So it's not that you have to go to some place in Surulere to see a notice board. You will constantly see production companies doing open calls.
Yeah.
People say to themselves, and I think it's a very defeatist mindset where they say people already know who they are looking for. But the honest truth is that no, we don't. Even if producers are on the table and they feel strongly that, okay, Temdayo, based on what she's done, feels like the best fit for this role. If Isioma was to come and blow away Temdayo in those auditions, it would go to Isioma. Yeah. There is no doubt about it. I've seen it happen so many times
where you're like stuck on one person.
So many times.
And the next thing you know,
somebody comes and you're like, oh, wow.
It has to be her or him.
You know?
Yeah.
So don't go in thinking people already know what they want. Because again, do you think if we already had this rose cast, we would organize 3 days of auditions and sit through 500 people just because we want to punish you? Okay, but why are we punishing ourselves too? So the thing is training and realize that it will take you some time. It's not
it takes patience.
A year, 2 years. It is a 5-year journey at least to get where you're trying to go.
Wow, 5 years. I mean, when you think about it, it sounds long, but if you're putting in the work and, you know, hopefully you're getting the auditions, you're getting small roles. Sometimes you're not going to get the lead role first on the first
I mean, I don't think you will. It's only very rarely that happens where, you know, somebody just this is their first audition ever and they
get it, you know. So I think it's and also investing in yourself because man, it's not encouraging to see actors who don't invest in themselves, whether it's with acting courses, and I think generally even with crew as well, like whether you're in producing, directing, whatever it is, you've got to invest in yourself.
When you're not working, upskill. Are you training? Like, I always tell people that you can't only be practicing your craft when it's time to shoot. It's not possible. Like, you won't get better.
Exactly.
So the in-betweens, how are you growing in the areas that you say you want to learn?
Yeah.
And it can literally be as simple as watching YouTube videos or reading stuff that helps you get better at your craft or watching the best films.
Or shadowing someone.
Yes, like, it's not only when they say we hire you that you can't be practicing every time on people's gigs. You have to practice when the cameras are not rolling.
I agree. Thank you. Oh, okay. So... I mean, you've done a lot. You have worked with a lot of people. You have been on a lot of sets. What are some of the craziest, wildest things that have happened on your sets? Please tell us. Because whether as a producer or as an AD, as a talent manager, do you get like...
There was one production that Timdayo abandoned us called Your Excellency. And they brought gongs.
Yes, I heard. I was pregnant and not filming.
She abandoned us. That's my story. And we are filming as we should be. Because we have negotiated location terms as we should. We were right to be there. And the owner just decided to throw a tantrum. Next thing, she had policemen with AK-47s pointed at us. This was all of us, the cast, the crew, we were flabbergasted. Like, literally. That's one of the craziest.
What, as in, can you imagine?
Of course, we were really pissed, and I think the lawyers even had to write them. And we went back to finish. But that experience, I was like, "Are you kidding?
That's putting lives at risk, so because
that was a crazy one.
I've actually mentioned this house in another episode. This house and locations really are like constant problems for filmmakers. Like trying to find a house. Oh, you want to film in a mansion. Oh, you want to do this. There's not many mansions.
There's not many mansions.
There's not many mansions that will allow you.
Putting up with the difficult ones, and just trying to
make it work.
Yeah, but that's forever. We have also gotten locked in a house before.
What do you mean locked in a house?
Oh yes, I was shooting something. I was aiding this, right? It was with our money. And look again, locations. They are wild.
Yes.
And they locked us inside the house we're filming in. She had to call the commissioner of police or the IG to send policemen to rescue us.
What the?
It's just erratic.
You think filmmaking is glamorous?
It's not.
You might get locked in a house or get a gun pointed at you for no reason. Like because someone is high on your power trip. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff we go through. Oh my God. Okay, so talent management, ADing, producing. Recently gone now into writing and directing.
Isioma the rain. I've now adopted that as my slogan.
And I'm so excited because by the time this comes out, you would have seen Radio Voice,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
which Isioma wrote and directed. But before then, you have Jakba, which was on Amazon Prime,
Yes.
and then Finding Me as well on Amazon Prime. So please tell us, how did you? Is the word pivot or is the word like? I don't even know what is the word for what you have done here,
Because
because
like accidentally slid,
yes,
you know. Because I mean, I don't know that I consciously set out to direct, right? I knew that, okay, producing was a thing that I was doing, and ADing naturally fits because certain types of my personality and skills that I have make me suited to be an AD.
Yeah.
Now, for writing and directing, it's like, I think it's a case of people see something in you before you see it in yourself, right? Because with Radio Voice, RMD literally sent me a script, and I thought, okay, yeah, I wanted me to produce and everything, and well, he sent me an early iteration of what Radio Voice would have been, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I mean, this thing has like things that are my jam,
Yeah.
you know, radio, because I used to be a radio head while, and
yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, I really liked the script to see, and he goes, oh yeah, that I want you to direct it, and I mean, the script is in there, but if you are open to rewriting it too as well, and I thought, oh, I mean, and the way I live my life is that if people say something, I mean, I will try it. What's the
what's the
if
harm?
you make it? What's the worst that can happen, right? And so I did a page one rewrite of Radio Voice, like, and then I directed it, and I mean, even with Finding Me. Funke Akindele hit me up and said, oh, that's I'm making it, and I know that you are the one that will co-direct it with me. I said that,
when
wow.
people, like you said, they see you
literally
before you
sing
even see it.
With Jackpa, Inkblot too as well, you know, because I was only meant to produce it, and then I was like, oh,
Why
you
don't
direct
you?
this thing too as well. So because of all of those instances, I mean, I've always had opinions, and my opinions about what films should be got stronger with like the more experience I have and the more knowledge I acquired, because you know, I started to feel very an urgent need to share my POV with the world, but it wasn't really a need that I felt I would do anything
Like it was
about.
pressing.
You know, yes, I was
right.
like, okay, I know that I want to, but oh well, producing is also fine, so we are
Yeah.
doing that. So, but now that the opportunities came, I'm like, oh yeah, we are doing this, and let's do it with.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I've produced so many things, and you never really, I don't have nerves anymore with producing. But imagine. Director.
You'll be like, hey, God. Oh.
I remember on set, and people just constantly keep asking
You
questions.
What do you want? How should
the
it?
problem? Like, what's the can't director just breathe? Like, I remember when we were shooting Jackpa, like, we got into a location and the AD is like, okay, so how we? I'm like, I need 5 minutes. Remove everybody. Let me just breathe. What is all this? How should we?
Give me a break, you know.
Directing I mean, producing, you do a lot of the work beforehand, but on set every day, people are asking,
What
should
do
it
you
be
want?
this hot?
Left or right?
I'm
Pink
like,
or black? Up or down? Like,
and it literally dawns on you that it's make or break.
As
You
in-
pick the wrong one, now they'll say the director said they wanted. I say,
then it's your choice.
you know?
And
What
then
do-
it's up to you. Now it's all on
Yeah,
you.
but yeah, but it's been, I mean, it's just been a fulfilling journey.
I love
mean,
it. I'm
directing
proud
this
of
thing.
you
Thank
because,
you.
you know, seeing you, I remember we were in the trenches of MTV Sugar Niger,
Yes.
editing MTV Sugar Niger, and you were rewriting Radio Voice. And then, then
Yes.
you went on to film.
To film, yes.
And I was just looking at this girl like, girl, how are you doing all of this? And I'm so excited to see the film because, of course, RMD is in it. And I'm not addicted. But what would you
Show's
say?
a dream.
As in,
Show's a
right?
dream.
So what would you say is your favorite thing about directing?
It's probably editing, but but on set, right?
interesting.
On set, it's more, I mean, my favorite process is editing,
Okay.
right? Because then, you know, we'll sit with our failures and we'll say, in my mind, I thought this thing would work, but look at that, it didn't work.
As in?
Where shall we go now? But I mean, on set, it's being surprised by the actors and the choices that they make, right? And let me use Radio Voice, right? I had discussed extensively with Damilola about what I thought. Well, the character I wrote, I know what the character I wrote is, and I said, okay, you know, this is based on writer-director. This is how I
it,
feel.
yes.
You should play it, etc. and all of that thing. And yeah, she was quite in agreement. We both agreed that this is what she's doing right. And her first scene, she played it not wildly different, but very differently from how I imagined I wanted that character to feel. And I remember watching and realizing, oh my God, this works. Thank God that she did not listen to this director telling her this is how it should be.
Collaboration.
I was like, and I was like, and she was like, oh, that did you? I was like, oh, no.
I
This
loved
thing you've
it.
done, my job now is to make sure this is how you've played it.
Continue.
You will play it. I'll
Thank
just
you.
be reminding you that this is how you've shifted the character. This is where we are going now. And that's the thing I learned about directing is that with the actors, you are, as a director, I think about many things and all the many questions they're asking you. So your mind is in 50 different places.
Yes.
But with each actor, if they've done the work, they're only thinking about their character. So they're probably
right. They're probably right
I
at
was
what
like,
they're
so
doing.
you know what?
Yeah.
So watching the actors become, and even with Nancy, there was a scene, and I just went, wow. Like, you were really talented. Like, I was enjoying myself so much with
Watching
what they were
the
doing. And I was like,
performances.
oh, wow. Like, and everybody it's like, I mean, I directed the film, so of course I'll say this, but they and me, I looked at him once and I said, you're such a villain. Like, villainy is within you. You are, nobody's
he loves playing a villain,
I'm like,
dear.
yeah,
He
yeah. I'm
loves
like,
playing a
this
villain.
thing is within you. Like, I mean, Simini as well, there's a scene with him and Nancy that is so gripping that you literally think he's going to kill. You know, it starts intense, man, with Blossom playing a bad guy so subtly, RMD, like, you know when they say, Baba na Baba, that's like, with
You
Inse,
get it.
like, Inse
Inse
went on like
is
a dry
insane.
fast
Yeah.
so that she would look dehydrated enough to pull off playing, because in Radio Voice, at the start of the thing, she's sick.
Yes.
The commitment. So I just think with directing, aside editing, actors are my favorite thing about it,
Yeah,
because
I
they
agree.
bring
Those
such a real life.
performances.
And when you write something and you watch them become it, you're like,
It's
wow,
surreal, like
it's-
seeing
yeah.
it go from paper to the screen. Like someone told me, you have the story in your head, the story you write, the story you film, and the story that you end up with. And so it's about going through the process, and hopefully you are happy with what you get at the end of it.
And you know the other thing I tell myself, and this is from having produced many things, including some that people have been upset about. I say, it's fine. We'll do better next time.
You gotta take
I'm like, you know what? No problem. These things, because the honest truth is that we try our best, but we never know how the audience will take it. And sometimes they have very strong feelings. I'm like,
and that you're not even expecting. You're like, it wasn't that bad.
We're not trying to offend you now. Sorry now. Don't be angry like this. But you know, it's what it is. You just have to shake it off and say, okay, next time I will learn the lessons, take the note, and we'll keep going.
I mean, so how do you feel about that? You know, because when in a time where, you know, critiquing is, I don't know, has become a, sometimes you can, yes, I understand. Like, I love reading a good critique of a film, because I think criticism can be constructive. You know, there's certain pages, certain platforms that will post critiques
that are not constructive.
That are not constructive. And, you know, Nigerians will always say, oh, and do you know how much money they spent on the film? How can you talk about a film like this? But I don't know. How do you feel about critiquing in the time that we are in now when it comes to Nigerian cinema? Because we all want to support each other, right?
Yep.
We're all in this filmmaking game. We're all trying to, you know, do something great. But sometimes something is not working. And how are you able to pass on the information without
seeming like you are telling them don't critique?
You know, I don't know, like, because we all want to be better. Like, it would be great if we could all make great films, you know.
I think with me, there are sometimes that I know what is wrong with the thing that I've made, but I can't fix it.
Yes.
But I fully know
this
is a problem. So
I agree.
When I then see criticism about the thing that I knew, I'm like, okay, you know, fair.
Yeah.
But when I see stuff that I did not think was a problem is now a problem too, I'm like, do you hate me? Do you know?
Why do you hate my guts?
What is happening? This thing is, what are you saying? And you know, you get defensive and you want to say, well, no, it is wrong. But to what end? How many people?
Like, is there any point getting on X and arguing with critics?
There's no point. In the early days, I used to try to explain the rationale, but now I'm like, there's no point. You feel how you feel, and that's fine. We keep moving right. What I wish existed in our criticism spaces, people have to learn how to engage with the material that is made versus the material that they wanted to be made. So you read a lot of critics, and when they write about stuff and they say, oh,
I expected it to be.
But no, that wasn't the film. The film you watched made these choices. How do you feel about the choices this film made in context? Because you can't tell me, okay, I've made a table and you expected a chair. But I didn't make a chair, I made a table. Let's engage with the material as a table. So that's what I wish happened a lot more with our criticism space. But I mean, if it doesn't, that's fine. I think the people that need the criticism or whatever is maybe the audience, Because I think that as a filmmaker, the better you get at this, the more you are able to spot what is wrong first.
First,
even if you
before
can't fix
anybody
it.
else can.
And if you have a good circle, your
Yeah.
circle has told you, okay, so none of these things will really be new to you, but audience members want somebody to tell them, okay, this works, or
Yeah.
this doesn't work, or you like this film. So that's fine. We should all try to do better as filmmakers, as critics. Let's all try to do better. We're
Yeah.
all going somewhere. Yeah.
And when it comes to writing, okay,
That's my least favorite part of filmmaking. Writing is hard. Oh God.
writing is so hard.
Hey.
It is actually the hardest part.
It is the hardest.
Because
by a
if you
mile.
don't have a good story, and in fact, you can have a good idea, but if it's not written well, you're just, it's not going to crack it. So we have met a lot of writers. We have worked with a lot of writers.
All great people.
Yes. And I don't know, like, you meet some people and they can deliver you a good script, and sometimes they don't. I don't know what do we do about telling better stories or getting better written stories? Like, I'm gonna have someone called Nicole Asinugo on here who has
she's pushing a thing where she's trying to get people to write better.
I'm so glad that that's happening because she's focusing on writing, But how do we get into a better space with writing? Because I've read some scripts, right? And I'm just like, what is going on here? I don't know.
The writers must talk to themselves and they must help themselves, because the honest truth is, and people always argue with filmmakers when we say that writing is a big problem in Nollywood, because some people are on Twitter and they say that they are good writers. What you see, you get, but not really. Writing is a big problem.
It's a big problem.
Serious deficiency in Nollywood, because, okay, you've given me a first draft. We point out the issues. That is usually where all writers hook. They can't
fix them
over a better draft. That
Yeah.
first draft is the best they will ever do.
Yeah.
And that first draft is usually the weakest. So you then have production companies having to rewrite internally or struggling, and eventually going to set with a script that
Is not-
should have been, needs to be better, but
Yeah.
the writer is just unable to fix it. And I think because writing requires so much skill and structure, and there's a lot of shortcuts with Nollywood. Like, I was gisting with someone last night, and we're talking essentially about how there's no other industry other than Nollywood where we would be veterans with only like 10 years under our belt in this career. We might even have produced more films as in Spielberg. If you check it. Because, but how is that the thing?
But it's not about quantity.
But that's the great thing about Nollywood, is that access is so easy that, we can get up and go, and at our budget levels we can make things. But, just because we can make many things doesn't mean we are as good.
Yes, we are as excellent as we think.
With writing, I can only encourage writers to keep iterating and learning.
Yes, and working on their craft, I don't know, because it's not just about writing on a piece of paper or even just having final draft. I mean, even at that, please have final draft, because some people write scripts on Word. Don't write a script on Microsoft Word.
At least use the software that they say writers should use.
Okay, there's free software. I think Studio Binder.
I think online is free.
Yes, online is free.
Fading is cheaper than final draft. But
so there's options out there. But please, I don't know. Like, we're going to talk about writing. We're going to talk about storytelling in a different episode. But
and I will watch Nicole's episode because I want to hear from her what she feels is the challenge with writing. Because it's hard.
The people do say it's time. Like, people don't have enough time.
Okay.
So this.
Okay. If that's what they say
it's time, but sometimes it's structure. It's understanding structure. It's understanding character. You can read a script and you're like, why is this person doing what they're doing? You don't understand
and
why.
I don't care for them. I'm like, I don't.
So I don't know. These are some of the issues that we deal with. What has been your most challenging? What has been your most challenging experience, I would say, throughout your time in this industry?
The challenges abound. It's always, I think financial is the biggest challenge, right? Because it leads to compromises that sometimes harm a project, right? Because resources are limited, so you shoot for less time, or you give people less than they want, or you can't really. We'll say that this is a billionaire's mansion, but really is a thousandaire kind of vibes. So I think the biggest one is financial, and it's money. money affords you time. Money affords you the best hands. There are times when, okay, you need the best hand, but your budget is shaking. So you just say, let's manage. How bad can it be? And it's very bad. We're like, based on where we are, do you get? So I think it'll be financial, because the rest of it it's just the job.
Yeah.
Producing is hard. That is the job.
Yeah.
So I can't specifically say, okay, it's that.
It's
no.
I
of
see what
the
you're
job.
saying.
Like,
yeah.
so,
yeah.
but it would be, if finances were better, that would be easier. Of course, the hours are long. It's thankless. When people win award, no, it's thank producer. It's just like, they will thank,
they will thank the God. They will thank their father. They will thank
producers. I don't, because it was the film house yearbook that came out that I found very interesting, right? Where they, talk about, highest grossing
producers. They mention producers.
Yeah, but they don't, highest grossing actor, crew members, different things, right? And I watched everybody post about this great honor to be the number one, whether it's actor or DOP. And it's as if the producer, the work that they were hired for, just didn't exist.
Because there was no highest grossing producer.
No, there was. I mean, in the thank you speeches that
the people gave.
I'm like, okay, it clearly says you are because of this film, but it's as if I'm like,
don't exist.
So really, producing is thankless, and you have to be a person that is fine with that, because you cannot now be looking for the thanks. There's no thanks.
You're not gonna get it.
You move on, because if you've done your job well as a producer, it should seem like you don't exist. When the producer is there every day, it means they've not done the work they should do, because now you are there every day figuring out.
When they remember your name, it means that maybe.
But if you've done your job well, people just assume they miraculously this thing.
The project worked.
So
it flew.
Producing is hard, and that is the nature of the job. But our reward is that we get to do a thing that we love, and we get to organize a thing, and we are okay with this thing existing
and seeing the final product.
That we did it. So I think financial will be my biggest constraint. Is that because sometimes I also just want to be a baby girl, but you must work and pay bills. Like, okay, we go again.
Give us money. We won't let us shoot film now.
Then we go again.
And even that balancing between being creative and money. Okay, something that I know as filmmakers, we are constantly in, it's call it push pull. So I mean, like I was saying on an earlier episode, that you're a young filmmaker, you want to make film, but you want to write luxury boats and yachts and clubs. Do you have money?
You don't have the money.
So what would you say in terms of balancing the creative with the business side of filmmaking? Honestly, what kind of advice would you give to?
Money is very important, so let's not pretend that it's not, right? You can only do what your money can do, right? So I remember when I wanted to direct a short film, and I said, okay, based on where the budget is, it's going to be a one location something. They are going to be in this one location. Yes. Now the challenge was to make the shot as compelling enough so that we will not get bored by the fact that they are in this one location, because I knew, okay, that is what I could afford, is that let's do one location, one day, and then let's just make the story as compelling as possible. So when you have financial constraints, then your creativity must then get turned on, and it must be armed, because just because there is no money doesn't mean it must look like there is no money, because then nobody's understanding that this thing, it's actually what happened is that we really wanted to shoot in this, but
you got to do the best with what you have.
So think about creative ways that you can pass your point across. And there's a film I'm watching now on Netflix, and it is a one location film, and I mean, they are doing great things with the cinematography and how the angles they choose to shoot at. It wasn't boring. Like, I was like, okay, because boring, literally in a space like this. And I was like, okay, so it's about, this is the money we have, accept that, but try to stretch your creativity so it doesn't feel like you're making a compromise, but instead you're making genius.
Yes.
Because you have to try and make genius. You can't explain to everybody.
You can't be mediocre because I didn't have money, so I didn't have to do it like this. And, no one. Those online critics, they are not listen to that.
And really, they shouldn't, because you are the one that said you want to be a filmmaker. You could have been watching it. You said, I want to make it. So
you got to do it. Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's great advice. I love that we have been able to give different people different kinds of advice, because this podcast is not just for a director, a writer, it's for all creatives in the industry. So thank you so much. We're going to play some games now.
Okay. I love it.
Don't worry, they're very, very very, very easy games. So the first is a celebrity. It's called celebrity cameo,
Okay.
and you have to cast
Somebody asked
Nigerian-
me.
No,
Oh.
not as you. You have to cast
was ready.
You have to cast Nigerian actors
Okay.
in each role,
Okay.
but they cannot be typecast.
Okay.
So you have to
okay.
pick the most unexpected person that
Okay.
you feel can
Can do
bring
this
it
thing.
to the role, and you have to tell us why.
Okay.
Okay?
That's it. I'm
So
ready.
I am going to read you the
Ooh.
story
Okay.
idea. A young man breaks into a bank and a young man robs a bank with his twin sister and their mother,
His twin sister.
and then they go on a journey to evade the law.
Ooh. A young man robs
His
the bank
twin.
with his twin sister.
Don't worry, they don't have to be identical.
Okay. I'm going to go with Ibrahim for the bank robber.
Okay.
Because Ibrahim Suleiman, because I feel like people, he's usually
Yes,
a soft boy.
yes,
a sweet.
that's actually
I'm
a good one. Actually
I'm going
love
to
that.
Ibrahim as,
Okay,
the,
okay.
as the bank robber. Now his twin sister.
His twin sis.
Ooh. Because I really want it to be people that nobody's going to answer them when they say they're trying to rob a bank. They can't be taking them seriously. Because I also want it to be like, a comedy of errors bank robbery, where
Yes.
these two people are just hopelessly not great.
Not great,
at
and
the
they're
robbery
with their
of it
mother.
all. No, he needs too good an actor. We'll get it. That's tricky. Let me do mom
Okay, do mom,
first.
do
Yeah,
mom, do mom.
let me do their mom. I would go with Iretido for their mom, right? Because I can imagine the chaos that is happening.
That would be hilarious.
Oh
Imagine
yes,
Ireti,
like Ireti, a
Ibrahim.
proper trying to be, a robber. And then for the twin sister,
Wait, let's think.
we need somebody, that is not chaotic per se, but I would go with Zainab.
Ooh.
Yes, I would go with Zainab Balogun then. Yes, I would go with Zainab. Because you
Guys.
expect her to be proper, not trying to be a robber, yes. So, Ibrahim, Zainab, Iretido.
That is a great choice.
I
I feel like I am coming up with some fantastic film ideas here on this series.
Because now we must shoot it. Now
Now
that
we
we have
have
said
to
it,
make this film.
we'll make it. We'll do it.
We will
So
make
give
this
us
film.
money.
Come and give
at
us
home.
money. Let's shoot.
Let's shoot some of these
A
ideas.
bank
They'll be
heist.
shots,
You
like
know,
real
beautiful.
talk shots.
I
Real
love
shots.
real
We have named
shots.
it. Well, yes, that would be
I love
Ibrahim.
it. So you have Ibrahim,
Yes.
Zainab,
Yep.
and Iretido
Stop.
robbing a bank
Yes.
and basically driving all over the country trying to evade the law. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, next one. Next and final one. It's called film genre flip. Okay, so I'm going to give you a genre and ask you to flip it into a completely different genre. Like a
Ooh,
film,
Okay.
a genre idea, and flip it and give us a bit of
Okay.
a bit of background into
Okay.
the idea. Okay. So it's you're gonna turn. So the original genre I'm giving you is a documentary about traditional African dance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Flip it.
A documentary about a traditional African dance. Okay. We are not going to make it horror.
Okay.
Now, you see, in this village many, many years ago, right, they sacrifice regularly to the gods. Now, the person that is the best dancer will not be sacrificed. So it's literally like face off, until, there's one winner, then the remaining 70 people shall be sacrificed. So this horror tale is men and women dancing to save their lives so that they can win the crown of the best dancer so that they won't be sacrificed. That is our film horror on this documentary take.
Fantastic! I love it. Can you imagine people dancing in a horror
Do you
film?
understand?
Giving them.
We must
Oh
dance
my
to
God. Hilarious. Oh, thank you so much. This
Thank
was
you,
so
Pet.
fun. Yeah, guys, give us some of your own genre flips. Give us some celebrity cameo, cameo ideas. What kind of ideas you have? I mean, maybe don't give us because I don't want
Actually, yes. So
Don't,
before when we now make it,
come and sue me and tell me
give
I stole your
yourself,
idea.
give
Don't
yourself.
give me.
Go and
give
make
me.
it,
Go
yes.
and make your film. Think of it with your friends and go and do it.
make it.
Okay. We're at Sea Experience here in Lekki. Thank you for having us.
really beautiful space. Like when I
So
walked in, I was like,
gorgeous.
oh, wow.
It's so gorgeous.
It's a
Like a
beautiful
hidden
space.
gem. They have rooms. They have a little concept store. They've got art. They've got everything, and it smells so good as well. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. See you next time.
Bye, guys.